From the floor of the CME Group, this is Danny Riley on today's closing print. Ooh, I get excited when the markets rally. The name of this video is going to be ROCKEM SOCKEM Robots in the S&P 500. The high of the day in the S&P came in at 2058.30 midday or mid-afternoon. The low came in at 2036.5 after the open, and last were 2055.5. We're up 36 handles. Total volume, 1.55 million minis trade and 8,000 big S&Ps trade in the pit. MOC by 100 million. Now, first off, I got to do a quick wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, out to Charles Evans for taking my 75-cent options up to $8. That doesn't happen very much, but often, but you know what? It's a nice little kicker from the beginning of the year. Also, it'll few those bad S&P trades I do. Tomorrow, we've got the jobs number or the employment situation, the wholesale trade number, and we have Jeffrey Lacker from the Fed speaking. Now, look, it was only on Tuesday that the S&P got down to 1984. And then today at the highs, it got 2 days later, it gets up to 2058.5. That's a 74.5 handle leap in the S&P. Now I got to ask you guys something. We go back and forth on this subject all the time. Is this normal? Do you consider this normal? Or is this the new normal? I really would love to get your comments on this, and I want to tell you guys I appreciate it when you talk to me on YouTube, because it feels like I'm connecting, or it feels like I'm getting out there and I'm getting responses from you guys, and that's really important. And now the other part about this is what I want to talk about is how does this happen? And I've explained this so many different times, and really, to tell you the truth, I think it's just the same show being played over on a different day. But anyways, I'm going to go back over this. Everybody gets short into the decline, right? The markets look horrible. You get 3, 4, 5 down days. I told the pit bull that you don't get much more than that. Then once everybody capitulates, and then you get a little pop in crude oil, and I said I thought the next $3 in crude would be up, and if that was the case, we'd get a 40-handle rally. I didn't know it was going to be 74. But what happens is once those shorts start to filter in, what they do is they lift the offer side of the S&P, the ESH 15. And once they lift that offer side of the S&P, that executes an index arbitrage buy program. So in essence, what the mutual funds do is they're just buying, buying, buying. And then they force, once the market starts going up and the premium levels flip, then all of a sudden you get everybody to start short covering in the S&P. And what are they buying? What are they buying? They're buying the offers of an index arb buy program that helps fuel the market higher. You can call it the PPT, you can call it anything you like. But that said, I think it all funnels back to one thing and one thing only, and it's called zero borrowing costs. Now, where from here? I got to tell you, I'm a little confused. I mean, the S&P exploded so much, it went up so much in 2 days. What do we think going into Friday's jobs number? And what do we think about the statistics that show tomorrow and Monday? I think Friday's stats are up 14, down 17 to the last 30. And then Monday's stats are up 13, down 11 of the last 24. Now, these are not good stats. And after a big run-up like this, you got to be a little leery that maybe the good news is out and maybe that we see some type of reversal. I mean, that would be what would screw most people now. You know, after the markets have gone up, everybody gets long into the rally. The S&P tends to do what screws people the most, and that would be to probably go down 20 or 30 handles. But that said, you guys, you know what? I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I don't know what this job number is going to be. I guess if I had a gun to my head, I would say that the number will come in good. But then again, I think with the S&P up so much, you got to worry about a little bit of counter trend Friday type trade. And then on the other side of this coin, you got to be thinking about the pit bulls Thursday, Friday low. But you know what? I'm going to take a step back from this. You guys tell me what you think, and I'll see you tomorrow on the closing print.